Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here for another Power Book 3, Raising Kanan. As you guys know, we are now doing episode analysis. No more reviews, but we are definitely going to be discussing, right? Thank you guys so much for all of your holiday wishes. Happy New Year if I have not said that. Welcome to all my new subscribers. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Now you see why everyone's here. Oh, child, this episode had me in such an emotional place, right? I watched it the first time, and usually I watch it and take my notes the first time, and then I watch it again and kind of like fill in, da. But, you know, we doing episode analysis right now, so we're not going step by step. We just going to talk about our characters in clusters, and we're just going to talk about how this whole thing is unfolding. Y'all, I had to sleep on that episode. I couldn't take notes. I just watched it, and then I had to go and lay down. Like, it was so much going on here. Listen, and we got photographs to prove it. Ooh, Kanan, child, we're going to talk about it. Listen. This is season 3. This is episode 6. We had a hiatus last week, which is why I can't remember if I said Happy New Year or not. I don't know. But this episode was called Into the Darkness because, yeah. Everybody is co-signing. Everybody is co-signing on the dark arts, right? You know what I'm saying? They co-signing and confessing. All right, but we're going to talk about it. Listen, let's just get something straight. First of all, if you're new to my channel, I need you to subscribe. Second of all, I need you to hit that like button. It's called engagement, right? And also comment down below. That is a part of engagement. Number 4, it's been 1 week. It's not funny. It's been 1 week since Unique disappeared, right? And everybody has reside to the fact that Unique is dead, right? They done been to the tailor shop, Pernessa, the police, all of that. They said it was a bloody mess, a bloody mess. They found the pipe. The police found the pipe. Evidently, back in them days, they didn't do fingerprinting. Right? They didn't do DNA analysis. They didn't do any of that. Apparently, Unique has never been in the system before, because if he had, you should have at least been able to test. But maybe they didn't do that back then. I don't know. Everybody went in there. Everybody saw. Everybody assumed. It was very violent. Let Howard tell it, you know. And no one in this whole episode ever asks who did it, except for Rock. Rock asked Pernessa. And Pernessa is like, I don't know. And no one else is trying to figure it out. And those who have figured it out aren't really talking about it. At least not in episode 6, okay? But let's just be clear. It is said over and over again, although there is nobody, that Unique is dead. Okay, we also going to talk about the facts in this episode. So one of my number 1 facts is that no one cares. No one cares or is fazed by the fact that Unique is dead, except for Pernessa and y'all. All y'all out there who spent the last week and some change trying to get this man to be back alive, be in a coma somewhere. Okay, Unique is dead. They keep saying it over and over again, you guys. He gone on. Okay, so let's talk about our cluster of characters, okay? Our first one we're going to talk about is Marvin and Juke, right? Juke is he really doing all she can. She's following the protocol. She's at rehearsal. Now they've got their first sort of like review, or by some potential, I guess, label, record execs. And her and the group all do a routine, and it's all traditionally 90s, and Marvin is there, and Marvin is celebrating her. And then he gets to talking a little bit too much, you know what I'm saying? He like a stage dad, I guess, if you will. He hollering the loudest from the balcony, and when everything get done, he down there on the field, baby. He on stage. Telling everybody, just telling the coach, like, you need to put Juke in as the lead. I don't know why y'all discussing it. They got what they need. And Juke is mortified. She is mortified because she is like, no. You know what I'm saying? This not Little League. This is, you know, something I want to do, and I don't need you messing this up. And she have a little conversation with him outside, and she lets him know, go home. Shut up and go home. What the heck are you doing? Are you trying to mess this up for me? He was like, no. You know I get loud. You know I get vocal. You know how much I love you and I support you, and I And she said, go home, I'll talk to you later. And then when she goes back inside, Aisha comforts her. You know, I say, and listen, I'm prepared to be wrong, but I think Aisha is being a little naive. She knows that Juke likes girls. She's hanging all over her. But at the same time, she running around with Kanan. And Juke is now the third wheel in all of these scenarios. Every time she out with Kanan, this is headed nowhere good. Let me just say that, and then let's move on. Okay, so we see where they have that tit-to-tay, and then later on they are able to mend fences, right? Marvin checks in on Lou at the bar, and he tells Lou, you know, he's made some mistakes. He's not sure how to navigate this father thing, but he wants to do it right. He's all in with this father thing, and Lou tells him, stay at it, stay with her, stay focused. You gonna fumble, but get back up in this daddy game, and don't ever stop trying to be the best dad you can be, right? Later on, Juke is at home eating cereal. She getting ready to go to school. He talks to Juke, and he says, I'm sorry about what I did and things I said and how I imposed. He said, I need you to help me be a better dad. She said, well, how can I tell you how to be a better dad? You know, it's loving and caring for Juke and Marvin. At the same time, they don't kiss, they don't hug, you know, goodbye, none of that stuff. It's just, they're just not used to this emotionalism from her giving and receiving, none of that. Juke, you can tell she did not have a lot of stroking and nurturing and that type of thing. She's always been in this environment where she's had to be hard. And in this moment where it should be emotional, it's not. It's not. I mean, it is for Juke and Marvin, if y'all know their story, right? Okay, we see where Marvin has an opportunity. He goes to see Rock, and Rock is in a real bad space when it comes to her properties. There's been a water main break, and she's there cleaning it up, and she goes on this long diatribe about how being a landlord is actually harder than being a drug dealer, and she ain't no good at that, but she was really good at being a drug dealer, at running the game. You know what I'm saying? And if it's gonna be this hard over here, and she's gonna have to keep putting good money after bad, she might as well go back to what she know and do what she know, especially since Dean gone and Neat gone, right? And Marvin don't say a word the whole time she going on and on about this. He just lets her get it all out, and he just listens to her, right? I love this Marvin. Later on, when Rock makes a decision to go and not only to get back in the game, but go to see little Linguini, Marvin rides shotgun with her. Right? Marvin is the one that fulfilled the commitment that Rock made to Lil Linguini to get out. Right? He's the mailman. Okay? And when Lil Linguini, Rock goes to talk to Lil Linguini, and she says she want to take up where Unique left off. This is why I tell you, don't nobody care about Unique. I mean, what else was she supposed to do, I guess? But still, we didn't even see her break a tear. We didn't even see her, you know what I'm saying, over the fact that everybody keeps telling her over and over that Unique is dead. Right? It was what it was. That it is what it is. This is not an overly emotional family, except when they drink real heavy. But we gonna get right on that. Okay. And Lil Linguini said, hey, I thought you was out. You not even gonna mourn a little bit over your boy? And she was like, this is the game. We all know the game. Lil Linguini said, well, I thought you was out of the game. And she said, well, you know, I'm back in the game. Somebody's got to do it. Bye, 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 bye. And he said, well, I don't know. You out, you in, you out. Lil Linguini say this. And he said, well, so I don't know if I can trust you. And then Marvin comes from behind her. Now, he listening the whole time. Same way he did Juke. He listening in. He feels like he has something to add. In this case, he does. He said, listen, when it was time to get rid of your mans in them, you had no problem calling on your girl for that. You had no problem with that. Okay? Huh? Now, I believe you can trust her with this. And Lil Linguini concedes and says, okay, that's fine. And tells Rock, listen. This time, if you get back out, it's going to be a whole different story. This time, you're going to get jumped out. You're going to get pumed out. You know, that's basically what he was saying. Okay, Marvin stood up for Rock. Marvin spoke up for Rock. Okay? We see where Marvin gets a blast from the past. Okay? He out in the park talking to Gerald. And this is going to be fact number 2, y'all. Gerald is a narc. Right? Everything that Marvin did for him, he ain't going to think nothing about that when he goes to turn Marvin up. Right? They sitting in the park and he's talking about, now he's giving a softer approach to the idea of writing a story about Juke. And maybe even including you too, Marvin. And maybe even including some of the backstory, Marvin. And some of y'all history, Marvin. And how she got where she is right now, Marvin. And Marvin is like, that's what I'm talking about. Good, yeah, good looking out. At the same time, a dude walk up, a white dude, male man. And he got his son there in the park, and he used to work at the club where Tony Deep was. Y'all know Tony was the white woman that Marvin was seeing, you know what I'm saying, and supplying. And later on, because she knew a little bit too much, Marvin and Sal's son went down there, and things went horribly wrong. And although the husband, I think, got mollywopped and real good, and he was in a coma, but they end up cutting Tony's water off, night Tony, and Sal's son also got night too. Marvin was a part of all of that. Remember that the husband, I believe, went into the hospital, and he in fact did not die. As a matter of fact, I think he had a weapon, and I think he was the one. It was a mess. It was a whole mess, right? Now that case was completely investigated because it involved white folks. Anyway, I digress. So the guy was like, don't I know you? I must have walked in on you and Tony Deep 100 times. And Marvin is like, I don't know you, man. Push on, man. I don't know you, man. Please don't. And he never called Marvin's name out in any way, shape, or form. He just kept saying, no, I do. I know you. I'm like, get a clue. Listen, Marvin. This is bad. This is where this season is taking this turn. You guys, I tried to tell y'all Marvin was in trouble, and I'm gonna stand by that. Marvin is in trouble. I'm worried about the Marvin character, right? And he says the man on, but Gerald gonna say, yeah, Tony Deep, that sound like a porn name. And Marvin say it sound like a name I don't know. And I'm like, Gerald, you need to read the room. You need to read the room and go on, because one thing the Thomases know how to do, baby, and that's clean up. Now, they may clean up sloppily, but it's gonna get cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get handled. You don't want your name on that list. So fact number 2, Gerald is definitely a narc, you guys. Okay, let's go back to Juke. Fact number 1 about number 3, Juke passed the ASFAB, y'all. Juke done passed the ASFAB, and she's going to have to make a decision, military or music, right? Military or music. She's starting to think that she could be a lead, because the lady that's leading their group let them all know, well, all y'all kind of in trouble. I know this about you. Aisha, you don't believe in yourself. Crystal, you think too highly of yourself. And Juke, I don't know nothing about you. But all y'all had the potential to be lead. If this is what you want fame, huh? Well, fame comes, and it begins here, right? She gives them the speech. So Juke is convinced that she could possibly parlay this thing and actually become lead of the group, right? Actually become lead of the group. At the same time, she is wrestling with these feelings that she got for Aisha. She realized that she likes Mint Girl, but Mint Girl is enjoying being invited out consistently by Kanan, right? But Kanan did clear it with Juke. Juke didn't speak honestly, okay? And now she's the third wheel at every time the three of them go out, she the third wheel, and they a couple. And she got to sit back on the edge of it. Now, Juke is not happy about any of this, right? And later on, when they go to the club, she handles it like the big sister. We find out fact number 5 in this episode that Juke is 18 years old, you guys. And Kanan is her little cousin. Right? And Juke handles herself beautifully at the club, right? At the same time, and Juke is the only person that I done seen that's not scared of Ronnie. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Okay, let's talk about 2. Okay, all right. Our next character cluster, which is Howard, Ronnie, and Juliana. Listen. Howard has learned that the Crown story is just not working, right? Them alphabet boys in his office, they not buying it, right? And they following all these splinter leads, right? Remember they brought the night of Lou's showcase. They bring in Rock, right? And so then they splinter off from Rock, okay? And everything that's going on, and people she know, and the people she was affiliated with, and now they got this unique situation, and they just churning and trying to see what it all washes out to be. At the same time, they cutting Howard off. We see where Ronnie is robbing at Neek's house. Yeah, he robbing Neek's house. And Pernessa, okay, comes in and finds him robbing Neek's house, taking all his jewelry, all the money, all the cash, all the stuff he had there. I mean, it looks like it was a pretty substantial stash. Now, remember also that Pop and Snap and Pop, okay, we don't ask about what happened to Cracker. Snap and Pop gave him a little bit of money too, right? Okay, also, he done flipped that car that he mollywopped the guy for and got, right? So now he taking all Unique's jewelry, and Pernessa's like, put those things back. Those are Unique's things. He'll be mad. I was like, oh, he really got him a girl next door. She act like she don't know the game at all. First of all, when you didn't see Unique for a week, you should have took all his valuables, all his things, got your son together and went to your mama's house. Because all of that was your insurance policy. All of those things there was your insurance policy. All right. Maybe she ain't got no mama. I don't know. Okay. So we see where he throw her hard to the ground and just looks at her menacingly and takes 2 bags worth of loot and stuff, Unique stuff, and hits it. Right. Okay, we see where Howard wants to join the narcotics group. There's a guy that's retiring over there, and he want to join. You know, change of scenery and all of that, and he sells it to the chief. Yeah, maybe this help get your mind off everything, and with the Burke situation, bop. And he said, well, narcotics is a change of pace, and it'll help me keep an eye on these dudes in here. You know what I'm saying? I'm already feeding them all the information, right? You know, the chief don't know all of this. He don't know nothing. Okay, it's fine. So the chief says, sounds good. Change the scenery. Sound good. We see where Ronnie goes to see Juliana, right? And he tells her, boom, 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 knocks on the door. Neek is gone, right? And he got another little red bag full of money, right? And Unique is gone. And he said, just like you said, now we gonna do business. He gives her the bag of money. She looks at the bag of money. She said, that's fine, we can do this, okay? But it's just gonna be me and you, nobody else. It's just me and you, and we keep it between me and you. And he gives her the bag, shows her the money, and she said, okay, you brought money, how much do you want? That's how that scene ended. I was like, okay, I thought we was gonna get some more, but okay, that's fine. Now we see he got his plug, okay? He got his money, he got his brother out of the way, he got his plug set up, right? Okay, now remember, one of the things that Unique told him that they do business things are done differently now. Things are done differently now, right? So Ronnie's getting all this stuff set up. It don't mean it's really just a house of cards, in my opinion, because things don't run like they used to, right? I'm just waiting to see when it's all gonna go south. We see where Ronnie is also decided he done rented the club, child, and he gonna have a whole party, right? And he goes down and he invites Kanan, right? Kanan is down stairs, and he done had a fight with, he's out in front of his building just running the boys, child, and he done had a fight with Fame. We gonna talk about it. He done had a fight with Fame, and Ronnie is there on the outskirts, always just behind him, just right behind him in the distance, kind of watching him on the outskirts, right? We learned that he having this party, and he said he admires Kanan. He big ups him. You know how to handle yourself out here, because he see Paul confront Kanan about taking all his people. And I ain't got no people to do my courier business because you got them out here running drugs. But they came to me, man. This is what Kanan is saying. They came to me. Okay, they make more money with me. And he said, you getting money for it, and you getting drugs for it. You know, smoking all you want for it, Paul. Listen, go on, mind your business. And Paul said, what if I would talk to the police? And Kanan's like, what if you get up missing? What if you go night-night, sir? Okay, and Paul is like, you just a kid, what you gonna do? And Kanan was like, I know a lot of kids that done, you know, night-night adults, rock them straight to sleep. And Paul realized, oh, now this ain't what you want. Okay, and Kanan gives him 2 people and goes on. And that's when Ronnie say, I like how you handle yourself. I like how you do. I'm having a party. I want you to come. I got some people that I want you to meet. Kanan was like, nah, I'm good. He was like, nah, you should just try to come. Now, Unique is gone. And Ronnie is the reason why. He seems so much lighter and brighter. And, you know, he's not jovial, right? But he is not as menacing. It's kind of like he took it down 2 notches. You know, he took some of the flare out of his nostrils. Okay. Still creepy. Still creepy. Still creepy. Again, like I said, he done invited at this party the club, the drug elite. And also Kanan. Like some heavy hitters are going to be at this party. And Kanan invites Aisha. And, of course, Jude, right? Evidently, they don't call kids in the clubs. It's fine. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. Maybe they got fake IDs. We see where Ronnie's party is jumping, okay, and packed with drug dealers, okay. Juke confronts Ronnie off the rip. Like I said, Juke the only one ain't scared of Ronnie. She already ain't feeling it because instead of her coming with Aisha, Kanan's there with Aisha, and she ain't spoke up about it. She learns in the elevator that Fame ain't with Kanan. Where Fame at? Me and Fame ain't hanging. Like, what's going on with you and Fame? Like, you and Fame done fell out? He don't want to talk about it. When they get on the floor and she see Ronnie, and Ronnie's like, oh my gosh. Only in Ronnie's way. I'm so glad you came. Like, he was like, oh, you came. He was, yeah, you know, and Kanan's like, yeah, I'm here, you know, thanks for inviting us or whatever. And Juke is like, you throwing a party, ain't your brother missing? And he was like, Unique, Ronnie stay Unique, is taking a break, you know, clearing his head. Yeah, his whole brain is getting fresh air as we speak. Entire cranium is just open to the sun and the elements. Aisha and Kanan dancing at the party, and they having a real good time. You know, just dancing. Like, the club is lit, right? And listen, Juke try to bust it up. She bust right in between the two of them dancing and say, we got rehearsal tomorrow. We got to work, Aisha. Let's go. And Kanan's like, the party just got started. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to leave right now. And Juke was like, no, we got to go. And you got a business, right? Because Ronnie said, I like the way you run your business when he met him at the party. And he said, and she said, we got rehearsal and you got a business to take care of because you a businessman. He was like, Juke, that's fine. Let's just go. All she want to do is talk about fame. And rain on his bib and block. You know what I mean when I say block. What he trying to get going on with Aisha. So he say, let's go. Ronnie say, hey, don't leave now, please. The party just getting started. Like I said, he's like the consummate host. More importantly, he has got a focused eye on Kanan's every move. This is the game. He sees that Kanan got something and he's going to move in on it. He's going to see if Kanan can be his sidekick, right? Say, hey, all you got here is a bunch of thugsters. And he say, ain't no thugsters. Here, this Ronnie. And she say, over there is one-eyed Willie. And right there is Jack Black, the king of crack. And over there... it's Freddie Foul Play, and you got, you know, I mean, she calls them all out. She said they all in the game, and they all thugsters. Okay, and he says, Kanan, please stay, you know, basically. And Juke get in Kanan's face and tell him Rock wouldn't want you here. And that's all he need to stay. Because if you against Rock, he with you. If you gonna say Rock wouldn't want you to do that, that's the exact thing he's gonna do. We gonna talk about it. We are gonna talk about it. Okay, but this is just at the party. At the same time, Juke and them leave and go on and Kanan stay. And while Kanan is there, all of the Snaps and Pops and all of the thugsters are all sitting around, including Ronnie, and they trying to get Kanan on board. You're doing this business, and you know you're doing really well, and we do things differently, and you can, you know, They trying to get him in. Come on in with us. Join this coalition of thugsters, right? Somebody bring up Rock name, and then Ronnie says, Buck Rock, right? And Kanan is like, I like the way you think. Okay, and Snaps repeats it. Okay, Buck Rock, right? And Kanan's like, these my people. And Ronnie says, you belong. Come over here, be with us where you belong. Over here, you gonna belong, right? We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. The baby wooed him in. That next morning after the party, it was a raving good party. Kanan is laying there on the floor in the apartment, and somebody banging on the door. And he tell Fame to get up, and he forget Fame ain't there. He forgot all about that. He goes to the door, and Ronnie there with that same red bag. The same one he took from Neek's house with all his belongings and the money. The same one he took over there to Juliana with all that money in it. Now he got the same bag, except this time it's got bricks of heroin. And he tells Kanan, it's time to go to work, ninja. It's time to go to work. I'm your pusher. I'm your daddy. I'm your something daddy. Yeah, this music is playing in the background. Kanan goes along with it, goes and gets a burner pager and drops it down there, and he in business. He in the game. Just like that, this is how it goes. This is how it goes. At the same time, Howard is being called in by them alphabet boys. And I know they said they didn't want to give him no more information. He was of no use to them anymore. But they've got this new information that has come up. Okay, A tied to B, which tied to C, which tied to D. You know what I'm saying? And which led us to believe this thug, this criminal here, who was a part of this shooting over here, we're going to take a second look at him. What do you know about this person? And he looks at the person's mugshot, and he looks at the folder, and he sees, he says that, he sees that it's Marvin's picture. It says he was involved in this Tony Deep murder. We don't know how exactly, but he was involved in it. And this is somebody we're going to be looking into. Okay? And Howard said he's just a low-level misdemeanor type thug, They was like, yeah, nah. We on to something here, right? It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Let's talk about Rock and Kanan, right? Listen, Rock done bought a house, but she ain't get no driveway and she ain't get no garage. I just don't understand it. Why you parking on the street? Maybe that's how they do it in New York. Maybe people parking on the street, but I thought people had in suburbia. No matter where you are, I thought you had driveways. I thought you had garages. I mean, at least a carport. I mean, if it's pouring rain, how you getting your groceries out from down these steps? It was silly. This how the episode opened. We see Rock pull in, park in front of her house, go up the steps, go inside, go through her mail. She get a bam, bam, bam on the door. We see somebody watching. Of course, we think it's Ronnie, but it ain't Ronnie. It's Pernessa. And Pernessa got a gun. And she want to know where Neek is. What you do with Neek? I know you killed Neek. She was like, what are you talking about? Rock just started explaining this. And she thought she was there because she had been bump. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, nah, nah, nah. It's the way with Unique. No. She there because Unique been missing about a week. And he ain't been home. And she know that Rock done loved him up. Okay? You loved him up. And you got rid of him. Okay? And you just did it because he was in love with me. Somehow Rock get the gun. She's an expert. And there is a little bit of tussle. I had been looking for Rock to do a little tussle. Up until this point, you know, she was like, here's the gun, here's the bullet, goodbye. I wanted to see a little bit more of a tussle. And we get to see them tussling. And Rock, bam, get Pernessa off of it and bruise Pernessa eye. And then she give her a little ice compact to go on her eye. And she say, start from the beginning, Pernessa. Okay, why is you here? What is this going? And Pernessa said, he had been home in a week. He would never, ever, ever not check on his son. And when you see them sit side by side, Rock looks so much bigger and so much more statuesque. And Pernessa, child, she looked like she had been in a washing machine. Her hair was all tousled. And she was all frail. She had nary bit of polish, no jewelry, not a touch of makeup on, you know what I'm saying? Not even a light lip, nothing. Baby, she looked like she walked there. And she started last Friday on the way. You know what I'm saying? Like she rode hard and hung up wet. And she said he would never not come see Jerome. And we learned in this moment, fact number whatever, that Unique was the little brother. Ronnie was the big brother. Now, Rock is the only one that's asking, who do you think may have done it? She said, first, Pernessa said, Ronnie is dead. I know he did. I can feel it. I can feel it. Rock said, who you think did it? She said, I don't know. I have no idea. She said, well, what is Ronnie saying? Say, Ronnie? No. Ever since he was young, he been protecting his little brother. He looked out for his little brother. He wouldn't. No, he would never. And she was, and Rock was like, oh, okay. All right, I won't press this since you so naive. You don't realize that Ronnie is that killer, right? She said, well, listen, you best keep this gun. You best keep it loaded and keep the safety off, baby, because whoever was gunning after that got Unique could come back for you. In other words, you better keep your eye on Ronnie. You best keep your eye on Ronnie. And this when Pernessa go home and she see that Ronnie is there robbing, okay? That's how all that went down. We see where Kanan, he over there at his apartment and he working hard trying to keep his business afloat. You know what I'm saying? It's hard out here for a pimp. You know what I'm saying? And even if the pimp is a drug dealer, it's hard out here. You know what I'm saying? You got to just constantly stay on top of your staff. And Fane comes in and he comes in from the studio, okay? And he's decided he want to talk to Kanan. And he wants to talk to Kanan, and he does. And Kanan loses it on him. Okay? Loses it on Fame and kicks Fame out. And then he goes back home to his mama's house, right? Because he done found out. Yeah, I know how the gun got in your book bag. How the good gun get in my book bag. Your mama put it in there. You let Rock in here. You let Rock put a gun in my bag. It's a whole conversation. It's a whole conversation. We're going to talk about it. Kanan then tells Fame, you got 5 minutes to get all your things out of your own apartment and get the duck out. If I see you again, if you're here when I get back, it ain't going to be good. Right? Then goes home. And is it me? Or was Kanan not quite? He was more about it with Fame than he was with Rock. They having a few words when the social worker knock on the door, and she hear a little bit of it. Rock go to the door, and she was like, oh, we just loud talkers or whatever. And the social worker's like, listen, I need to talk to Kanan alone, okay? And Kanan goes in another room outside of Rock. We know what they was talking about. We know that things was just getting heated between them. The social worker done came in, and now Kanan got to play it calm and cool, which he does. At the same time, when he comes back with the social worker, and she is so completely sold, he has charmed her pants off, and she is complimentary to Rock, that she is overbearing, and she's just really keeping her foot on Kanan's neck, and this is what's going to help him, you know, go on the straight and narrow. And she says, you know, this whole gun situation, Rock said Kanan knows that was wrong, and Kanan says, my mother knows that's wrong too. See, he letting her know. Yeah, I'm doing this to keep my nose clean, to keep my business going. At the same time, anytime I want to snap on you, I will snap on you. Okay, this could go bad for both of us if I wanted it to. If I choose to take it there, okay? The social worker said, hey, I'm satisfied with what I see right now. I don't know when I'm going to be back, but it's going to be a minute. So y'all carry on like ain't nobody watching y'all. And then they really talk, Rock and Kanan really talk at that point. Really talk, okay? And he tells her, you don't care about nobody but yourself. I know it, and even Lou know it. Uncle Lou know it. What you know about me and Lou? I know that Lou know that you ain't no good and you don't love nobody but yourself, that you incapable of love. And she say, Kanan, everything I did because I love you. You don't know nothing about no love. Okay? He lets her have it. I mean, it wasn't, I think we was expecting it to be more when he found out, because it is this really egregious thing. At the same time, I mean, they discussed it. He let her know he don't appreciate it. And that's really all that was. You know, that's all that was. We see where Rock goes to Howard and they meet up, and this is where she get the solid intel on Neek. Like, this is really it. Yeah. It was a mess. It was horrible. And whoever was in there, in that room with whomever, they can't be alive no more. It was blood everywhere. And Howard asked her, he said, Katz is Neek, Dean. He said, Katz is out here dropping. You scared, Rock? She said, scared. Scared. It's the difference in being scared and being aware. See, your little partner, Burke, huh? She was scared. Okay, I'm aware, ninja. I'm aware, and pulls off. And the way how face was looking so cracked, I said to myself, yeah, she ain't that little girl. She ain't that little girl that you groomed and slept with and put a baby in, huh? Okay, Rock is a force. Don't you forget it. Oh, you in over your head, Howard. You in over your head. Rock then go to see Lou, right? Now, Lou doing good. He doing good. This visit from Rock just, It was too much. It was a trigger. And even though she comes in there and she apologizes for missing his showcase, and she tells him it looks really good, their father's music is playing overhead on the record player, and she knows her daddy's music when she hears it, and she said, "That's daddy there." And he was like, "What you doing here, Rock?" Like, he didn't give her an inch, baby. Lou is mad. He pissed off, and I promise you, this is why people go 30 years and don't speak. What went on between them was bad. It's a wedge that Lou is not ready to unroot. Right? She tells her, she said, "Lou, I love you. I always wanted the best for you." He said, "You trying to take this from me too? You like everything I got going on? You trying to?" She said, "I'm not here to take this from you. I'm here to tell you I love you and I want us to make amends." He said, "Rock, I'm going places and you don't want me to go." She said, "Well, wherever you want to go, I'll take you. Where you want to go, let me take you." Like I said, hat in hand. Hat in hand. And he said, "You the reason why I did those things to D Wits and Scrap." He said, "I'm just a hammer that you pull out of your toolbox." And he said, "I shouldn't have been that ninja for you, Rock." And she said, wait. You got bodies of your own. He brought up Zisa. You got bodies of your own. You got people that you responsible solely for yourself. We both have to take accountability. We both gonna have to live with what we've done and how we've done it. And he was like, "You know what? Get out." When she said, "Where you want to go?" "I'll go," you know what I'm saying, "I'll take you. Let's go together." He said, "I'm going back to work and you going out the door. You finna let the doorknob hit you." And then he goes and he sits down and he's going to go back over the books and he's handling things. The club looks different. It looks nice. All of that. And he's in charge of counting this liquor and getting this liquor in and getting it put to the back. Like, he running the things now. And he decides to take one of the bottles out and he takes a drink. And this is because Rock came to see him. Rock is his trigger. Rock is his trigger. Okay? Let's talk about Fame and Lou. This is our last character cluster. Lou and Fame. Lou and Fame. Okay, Fame is down at Lou's studio and he's rap fessing, right? We all know everything that go on with him, he put it in a rap. Now, I ain't heard no rap about his mama. I ain't heard no rap about getting put out of his mama's house as a minor. I ain't heard nothing about that. I ain't heard nothing about his sister moving to California. I ain't heard nothing about that. No, not in his raps, not in his music. See, the Fame that we seen in this episode and the last episode, that's a different Fame. The Fame that was showing us the first part of this season and most of last season is just this ne'er-do-well, this slightly dodo bird, this stoner. You know, now in this scene, he is just so distraught and so I didn't know why we spent so much time on this. Not just the rap. Okay, we need to hear the rap because fact number whatever. Fame is a marked soul, right? The way Fame does things marks him. Okay, I mean, that whole conversation that he has with Lou where he's like, I don't even have to try. It just comes up. It just comes out. And it writes itself. And we didn't need any of that. We didn't need any of that. Like, why are we trying to sell Fame in this way? Which is how I know that Fame is a marked soul, right? Like, okay. Lou encourages him. You were able to put this song out there and you were able to do it really well because you feeling it. And he said, "I feel lighter." Fame said, "I feel lighter. I feel better." He said, "Every time you tell your truth, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel better." Now, he's telling Fame this. And I'm like, Lou, you got to know that this is not going to end well. Fame hang with your nephew. You never once say, when you did this thing, Fame, was Kanan with you? You don't say nothing. Nothing. Right? You here to be this listening ear, this empathetic voice, this encouraging, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have turned off that part of your brain that was in the game, that was in the street, that thinks strategically. And what you finna do with this song that you done put on wax over here, Lou, I don't know. All right. So, Fame put his whole truth into these lyrics and into the atmosphere. Okay, let the truth save you, Lou says. Okay, that's when Fame goes home and decides he gonna tell Kanan. And at this moment, how Kanan, he tells Kanan how the gun got in his backpack, and he gets immediately sought out of his own apartment, you guys. Okay, he is cussed out, he is belittled, he is humiliated and evicted. Again, Fame is not rapping about what's going on between him and Kanan. He not rapping about being sought out his mama's house as a minor and all of those things. None of those things keep him up at night. None of those things keep him from sleeping. What keeps him from sleeping is what happened when he did the pew pew to old boy. Okay, and where you gonna stay? So then we see where Luke, you know, he starts to spiral after this conversation with Rock, and he is on a bender, like he is unbelievably drunk. We see him pulled up in his Acura outside parked on the street. Tell you he was drunk as Cooter Brown, baby. Drunk as Cooter Brown. Okay. We don't know whose house he's sitting outside of. All right. End of the episode, we see Lou sitting in a chair and he's talking about, he's telling someone. It just pissed me off that he had a dry eyes the whole time. He had a snotty nose, but no tears running down his face. It just pissed me off, but I digress. I'm not going to pick at that scale. And he's talking about, I'm the reason, this is how it happened. I'm the reason why Scrap is dead. I should have jumped in. I should have saved him. I should have intervened. I should have put myself in front of him. All of that. All of this. We paying out and we see that he's telling all of this. The reason why Scrap is dead is my fault. He telling all of this to Scrap's mama. And she's sitting there with that Wet n Wild. What's the name of that Wet n Wild gold we used to all wear? That gold Wet n Wild. Y'all remember it was always sold out. She had that on her lips, child. And she had a dry eye. I mean, she was so shocked. You would have thought tears would have been welling up. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. We've got all of these emotional scenes, but nobody is really like, I don't know. Nobody cried over Unique except Pernessa. I think Pernessa cried really more because she got slightly mollywopped. But this woman is hearing full on. This man is crying, and this woman is hearing full on how one of Scrap's closest friends is the reason why Scrap ended up dead. Okay, and that is how the episode ends. It ends with Lou telling his truth, trying to save himself. He was so drunk. He really thought this would work. It's gonna be bad. Episode 7 is gonna be bad. Let's just talk about our facts, okay? Because I want to go on the record. Listen, Rock is back in the game. Not even 45 days. I mean, I'm being generous with 45 days. It really feels like it was 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. But less than 45 days, Rock is back in the game, okay? All right? Again, no one cares about Unique but Pernessa and all of y'all. When they kept bringing up Scrap, Lou was, you know, in a drunken stupor, and he now for the second time sees Scrap. They show Scrap with both of his eyes. Y'all know Unique is the reason why Scrap lost his eye. Y'all remember? Okay. Nobody cares but y'all and Pernessa. All right. Gerald is a narc, said it. Fame is a mark, so said it, okay? Listen, this is the #1 fact I want you guys to take away from this episode. Good episode. Ronnie is Kanan's evil parent. Sits right just back here. Do, 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 do. Just right. Really, we're going to say on the shoulder. Ronnie is Kanan's evil parent. Just like Kanan was Tariq's evil parent. Huh? Are you with me? Okay. Y'all with me? Uh-huh. Listen. Likewise, Kanan is going to set Ronnie up to be night-night. Just like Tariq set Kanan up to be night-night. Yeah, this is what you're seeing. How he wooed and groomed. He got it from Ronnie. Ronnie's the evil parent. Muck Rock. I like the way you handle business. You see what I'm saying? He is looking at Kanan now like he was looking at Unique. I imagine he gonna be Kanan's protector, like he was Unique's protector. One of the most telling things was that photograph that was taken at the club. Okay, all the thucksters gathered. Okay, snaps and pops up front. They look over and see Kanan sitting down, and they say, "Come on over here, Kanan." And you know, Ronnie is there. He say, "Come on." You know what I'm saying? This is how grooming works, right? Okay. Although Kanan is not necessarily naive, you know, up until this point, he's really handled himself. But Ronnie summons him over too. He's like, "Oh no, I'm straight." They were like, "Nah, come on." He comes over, and it's a snapshot, and it freezes, and we see all the thucksters, and there is Kanan, clearly, you know, 16 years old probably, and just behind him is who? Ronnie. This is the snapshot. This is the photo. This is the beginning of the end of the Kanan that we knew. Okay? The Kanan that we knew. He's different. This snapshot, this photo shows the, you know, the precipice of that turn and that change. Consequently, Kanan is going to be the one that is in position to set Ronnie up. Now, I know people think Ronnie is Breeze. We don't know that yet. This is my take on it. Y'all tell me what you think. Y'all put it down below. What did you think about this episode? Do you think that Kanan is going to be Ronnie's undoing because Ronnie has chosen to make him the new Unique, right? And also be the evil parent. Bop, bop, bop. You know what I'm saying? Leading him astray. Talking against Rock. You know what I'm saying? Being in his ear about Rock. Okay? Like Kanan was in Tariq's ear about James. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that theory. Y'all put it down below. Listen, until next time, honeybees. I'll holler.